Hi, this is Laura Zam, and this is Sexual Healing Central. Today, my guest is Cailin McDuff, who is the Working Woman's Pleasure Guide. Cailin is going to teach us how to get into our desire. Stay tuned. So, Cailin, hi, welcome. I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. So, my name is Cailin McDuff, and I am the Working Woman's Pleasure Guide. And my favorite thing in the whole entire world is supporting women to get out of their heads and out of their to-do lists and into their bodies so that they can create lives that are based in desire. So I do this work one-on-one with women and in women's groups, and different kinds of coaching containers. And it's just my life's work. It's the thing that lights me up.
It's so amazing, and I'm so thrilled to have you. You are so luminous and so inspirational. And we were just talking off camera about how even just talking to you, I just feel transformed each and every time. And I know that you have some tips for the viewers, and I would just love for you to share those.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I know one of the things that that you and I have talked about is how do you even begin getting into your desire?
Yeah.
And even well, first thing I want to say about this, so I'm going to break it down into sort of three places that I would look, or three tips.
Yeah.
um but the first thing I want to say about this is that this is not the conversation that's happening in the world. Like, it's not a normal thing, right, for people to be in a conversation about desire.
Mm-hmm.
We have all these perceptions that desire is dangerous, it's bad, we're not allowed to have it, it's gluttonous, it's just the
Especially
list.
women, right?
Yeah, the list goes on. And or it's dangerous. Like, really, we think it's dangerous.
Right.
Or irresponsible, that's another fun one.
Wow.
And so oftentimes when women first come to me, or when I first get into a conversation with women, um, they're sort of looking around at their life saying, like, where do I even start with this? Like, I feel so out of touch
Mm,
with my desire,
yeah.
and even asking them, like, what's your desire?
Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of women can't answer that question.
Right.
So that's the context I want to set for this.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to say it's totally normal. Like, that's where I was as recently as 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I wanted all of these things, but none of those things were my true desire. They were things that looked good, or things that I wanted to do to perform for
Right.
other people.
Yeah, or the messages that tell us this is what we're supposed to want.
Exactly. Exactly. So one of the first pieces that I would give around this, to start to get into your desire,
Uh-huh.
is to slow down and get into your body.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do this in a variety of ways. Meditation is a beautiful way to just start. Even 5 minutes will do wonders. But actually start to notice, like, what are the sensations that I'm feeling in my body? Am I
Mm-hmm.
hot? Am I cold? Do I feel constricted and tight? Do I feel open? Do I feel flowy? Like, really pay attention and start tracking your
Mm-hmm.
body, because your body, that's where desire lives.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be able to slow down enough to actually start to be in a deeper relationship and a deeper conversation with your body.
Right.
So I know, like, when I hear an idea, or when something kind of goes through my head, I know, like, I can actually feel in my body, whoa, like I feel lit up by that, right? That's my true desire.
Mm,
But
that's so great.
if I can't feel it, then like a client the other day was telling me about an idea or something. I don't remember the full context. But I just said to her, I was like, I'm not sure what's happening here, but what I can tell you is I can't feel you. And so that it doesn't feel like a true desire. And I don't have to be right about this. But if I can't feel you, then chances are it's not a true desire.
Wow. Wow.
You know? So that's the first thing is just listen to your body. And what does your
Mm,
body need? Water, dance, movement, rest. Like it can be so simple, but it's the thing that I think most women
most.
overlook.
Absolutely. And I just love the way that you're helping us to understand that if we just slow down, it's there for us. Because
Yeah,
sometimes I think people get frustrated, like, I don't know what I want.
right. So that's sort of baseline.
Mm,
And then, you can start small. So piece number 2 that I'm going to give you is once you start, sort of asking for your desire and you start receiving it, you actually
mm.
have to learn how to open and receive your desire. So the difference with this is like, I'll just do a little demo here.
Oh, I
Like,
love this.
so let's say somebody hands me a glass of water, right? Just a pretend person. Okay. And I just, oh, thanks. You know, you can feel my attention there. But let's say somebody hands me a glass of water or anything, and I really receive it. Oh, thank you. Right? That is the difference between fully having what you have and not. Like it doesn't even matter if you have it if you can't fully open to receive it. So it's like you gotta like open your body and open your heart to really receive and bring a level of grace to that.
And this, so many people are dissatisfied. So many women are dissatisfied. And what this brings to mind for me is that what you're describing is the road to satisfaction, that it's there. Often the component parts are there. It's just that we're not taking it in so that we feel satisfied.
Right. I'm like, we have really full lives, most of us. And
Yeah.
if you just slow down enough to really receive what you have,
Mm.
oh my gosh, it's incredible, And I know, like, my people love giving me gifts and services and things, right? I was at the farmer's market yesterday, and just like every vendor is like, oh my gosh, Cailin, let me just take this home. Like literally, I just left the farmer's market with so many free goods and that's not happening to everybody at the farmer's market. Let's be very clear. But the vendors can feel
I
my
bet.
receptive
Yes.
capacity. And so it's so fun to give and pour out into a woman like me. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you for these oranges. And this is not an act, it is not a strategy, it is not contrived. That's the other thing I want to say about this is like, I'm not just like, let me put on a dog and pony show. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yes. Yes.
thank you for your generosity.
Mm. So powerful and just so nurturing, for community, for people to feel like what they're giving is really received with all of that gratitude, but also what is it? Deliciousness or
Yeah.
savoring. It's
Oh
very
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's my favorite way to enjoy life. So the third piece that I
Mm-hmm.
have for you around getting into your desire,
Yeah.
um, this one's not always easy, but it is to tell the truth, like really tell the truth. And I think this is particularly relevant right now as we are opening the world back up, coming out of a pandemic, right? People are starting to make plans, and there's like a flurry of events coming and all this stuff coming into the world. And that is amazing and wonderful. And you have to be honest with yourself about what you actually desire. What, like, do you really want to go to that event that's like all the way across town on a Wednesday night and super inconvenient? Is going to have your body be annoyed? Like, maybe not, right? You have to be fully clear with yourself about what what kinds of things you desire to do, what kinds of people you desire to be around, because so much of what's going on out there in the world is people are saying yes to things because it's an automatic response. Oh, that person has historically been my friend, so I guess I'll say yes to the dinner, even when they don't really feel like it. So it's like really check in with yourself, like, what would just completely delight me today? What
I
is
love
the
that
actual
question.
desire?
Just
Yeah,
love that question.
yeah, just be honest with yourself. And if it feels on, then like the energy around it will move and you will get to have it. But if it's off, the energy is going to feel terrible and you're going to be resentful. And then that like creates backed up resentful energy in your body. And then that
Right.
blocks you getting your desire.
Mm.
So it takes a deep level of responsibility to live, and truth, to live a desire led life. It's not for the faint of heart, but whoa, is it liberating.
Yes. I have a question for you. So
Yeah.
what do you do, or what do you recommend if people have a lot of responsibilities on their plate that are not connected to their desires so much? It's like, oh, well, I've got to get the kids fed, and it's, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things that might be feel like a drag, or I've got to get this report done, even though I hate doing the reports
Mm-hmm.
part of my job. All of
Yeah.
those tasks, how do you handle them and bring them into this fold?
Yeah, I mean, I look at, well, first of all, there's like I think a couple conversations. It's like, are you aligned in your life?
Mm,
Because for me, I'm like, if I'm doing whatever, like, I had to get my stuff ready to send to my accountant, right, for him to do my taxes. That's freaking, I hate it. It's annoying. There's no part of that process that I enjoy,
right.
right? But because I'm doing it in service of my
Mm,
greater mission in the world, I'm like, great, like I just handle that, right? Because
I see.
I have a bigger what for,
Yes.
a bigger why for what I'm up
Mm-hmm.
to. So that's the first thing, is
That
that
makes
like
sense.
you can try to make all these little funny, little tiny things like fun, but that is sort of just like putting like icing on a pile of poo, you know? And so if you're not fundamentally aligned in your life, you got to take a real hard look at that and ask yourself, what does light you up?
Mm,
Is it a different industry? Is it a different kind of role? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Like, do whatever, right? It doesn't matter. Find your thing, but you have to have that as your guiding force. So once that's one conversation, and then the next conversation is really about like finding turn on in the minutia of things. So
mm,
like I have a call every single week. It's called Integrity Hour. And
uh-huh.
get on with two of my coaching best friends, right? And we just bring all the stuff that we want to avoid. It's like, I got to call my lawyer about this. I got to, whatever, transfer this money. Oh, I got to pay this person, just like stuff that impacts our integrity that we
Yeah.
just want to avoid. So I keep a running list of all the things that I want to avoid. And then I have a structure to be able to address those things, and I make it fun. Like I'm also a little bit I'm a little kinky. So I know that I love suffering, and I know, like I have like a level of approval
Mm-hmm,
for
mm-hmm.
those kinds of things. And so I just bring that into anything that I do in life. And I really can get off on anything. And by get
Oh,
off,
wow.
I don't mean I'm always going to have like an orgasm getting my taxes ready, right? But I just mean like I can find the heat and the play in almost anything. You know,
Wow.
it's like,
That
oh, I
is
need
amazing.
yeah, during the pandemic, right, when like we couldn't have like people come cleaning the house or things like that, I'm like, all right, well, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dress up like a hot maid. I am gonna turn the music on, and I am gonna let my roommates see me like cleaning like a hot maid, right? Like you can make anything fun, but it requires a level of responsibility and creativity.
It does. And I just, wow, you just blew my mind because when you bring that sense of playfulness and fun and yeah, but also connecting it to our sexuality, there's so many things you can find in there in
Oh,
terms of
yeah.
what is unique to us, what we like, and just kind of tie it in a way. I just love the way you're saying it. That you could tie it into something that's suffering, because that's a turn on.
Yeah, I'm like, you
Yeah.
can get turned on about anything. And look, right? Like I don't have a dishwasher I live in a bungalow in the east side of LA. It's
Uh-huh.
like my dream place. And the only thing is I don't have a dishwasher, right?
Mm,
I hate doing the dishes, but it's like, okay, what do I want to listen to while I'm doing this? Or, like
yeah.
I get to create every single moment of my life exactly the way I want it to be.
Yeah, it's fantastic, just fantastic. I just made these cleaning products with essential oils. I used to
Mhm.
do it and then I stopped, and then I
Yeah.
did it again. And I saw something online and a woman said, "Oh, cleaning could be like aromatherapy." And I thought, "Oh, you know what? It is. You can just transform, because I'm not a domestic goddess, but you
Hmm.
can transform anything into something that is pleasurable if you just apply it, as you said. These tips are so, so amazing. And
Mm.
you are amazing. And I'm just so excited to direct people to you, because I just feel like you're such a bright light, and you've got so much wisdom and really, really interesting, accessible ways of bringing pleasure into women's lives. You are just a beautiful force in the world.